when you post like a booty selfie. It's not like a thirst trap, in my opinion, anymore. Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. It is getting way too fucking hot to film in my car, like to do the little intro, so we're gonna do it in the gym for now, and we'll see how it goes. But we have a back day to do today, and it's Monday morning, and I'm feeling good, and I feel excited, feeling motivated. One thing I need you to understand is the way you perceive an action or the intention behind an action is going to decide how motivated you are. So if you are looking at the gym as like punishment or only as a way to burn calories or whatever, you're not going to be motivated to fucking go. But if you look at it as like, this is an opportunity to change, reach my goals, be a healthier and happier person, you're going to want to fucking go. So it's mind over matter, changing your mindset towards things. All right, so we are starting with pull-ups. Now, the thing to remember if your goal is to actually be able to do a pull-up, assisted pull-ups alone with a machine are not really going to help you get there. There's other things you need to do. So you can do assisted pull-ups. You can do band-assisted pull-ups, inverted rows, like scapular pull-ups. I'll show you scapular and resistance band pull-ups today. Maybe I'll show you inverted rows as well. But if your goal is to do a pull-up, you have to do multiple things. It's not just this machine that's going to magically do it for you. Okay, so to set up for resistance band pull-ups, you're going to move the little knee pad thing, and then we're going to grab resistance bands. So you're going to pick a resistance band, obviously based off of the amount of support you need. If you don't have one that's thick enough, you can combine with, I know that black one is not going to do it for me. I can't remember if this purple one, though, is enough. I don't think it is. So you're going to put them on the little handle here. And then you're essentially going to put your knees in here and then do your pull-ups. And what the band does is it doesn't allow you to use momentum to help you up. So if it's not enough support from the band, you can add another one. You can find thicker ones. But you shouldn't be like bouncing up. The other thing with pull-ups, a lot of people think it's a lot of arms, but it's your lats. That's where you're squeezing up through. Somebody's getting in the band. It's the hardest part. So next we're doing barbell rows, which I have been pretty much obsessed with. I haven't done many dumbbell rows lately. It's just not really been the vibe. So we're gonna drive through those elbows, back is nice and straight. Like I was saying at the beginning, your mindset towards towards everything is going to determine your motivation, your success, all of that stuff. So I know, like, for a while, the whole premise of like romanticize your life was like this big popular thing. And like, even though it's kind of like a little bit something like you want to roll your eyes at, it's also like, it makes sense because if you can make an experience more enjoyable, you're going to want to do it more. So like having gym clothes that you like, going to a gym that you like, having pre-workout that you like, doing little things that make it a fun experience for you, having rituals, all of that is super important to help you stay consistent. I think people underestimate how much going to a gym that you like actually does affect your journey. I saw a TikTok earlier of a girl that was like going to Planet Fitness, then she felt she like outgrew it, so then she went to a different gym, and then she realized that she wasn't going as consistently to that gym, and she couldn't figure out why. And her husband pointed out, maybe you just don't feel as comfortable at that gym as you did at Planet Fitness, which I think is a fair assumption. And so she went back to Planet Fitness and felt back at home and like felt good again. So it really does make a difference. I don't think you need to force yourself to try to do things or go somewhere that just doesn't feel good for you. Like I personally have zero problems with Planet Fitness. I have a Planet Fitness membership because it's like the only gym that's near my parents' house when I go visit them. But to be super transparent, I feel more judged in a Planet Fitness than I do at any other gym. So I don't really like to go. So it's all about doing what you like. Let's see how this outside. Haven't really tried to go over 95 on rows in a while, so I'm feeling a little like a wee. I'm also in this like weird middle space where I've been buying way more gym clothes than I should be, but it's like a lot of my other gym clothes, like my normal ones that I like to wear all the time, are getting too big. So I just ordered. I've talked about this brand a bunch. Fair by Bria. It's a Black female-owned business here in the States. She's in Atlanta. She just dropped some black shorts and like black tank top thing. So I have those on the way. And it's definitely an investment. Like it is not cheap, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Like these are probably my favorite leggings that I own. I wish she didn't sell out of them so quickly. I probably should have stuff there. All right, we got lat pull downs next. And every different handle you use on this is going to work your back in a different way. So I'm talking about romanticizing your gym experience and like having things that bring you joy. For instance, my little gym bag from Base, obsessed. It's like a duffel bag, but then there's straps underneath and you can turn it into a backpack. Best gym bag I've had. Was an investment. Yeah, but it honestly makes me super happy. The color, all of it. And then I got like the little cherry thing, um, which if you're a millennial, cherries were like a huge part of when I was a teenager. I remember going tanning when I was like 18 and I would get a little cherry or Playboy Bunny sticker and like put it on my hip. Back when we thought tanning was cool. It's funny when I went to the dermatologist last week. Oh, I did finally go for that spot on my nose. It's nothing. It's basically a popped blood vessel from a pimple that I had. And she said some people, they're just more prone to have those come to the surface and stay there. And she was like, because I have like very red undertone, she like asked if I get red when I get hot and things like that. And I do, as you can see. So the only way to get rid of it is with a laser. So I'll be doing that in August because you're not allowed to be in the sun for like 4 weeks before and like a few weeks after. And I'll be in the sun in July because my cousin is coming to town because we're going to go see the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. Yeah, be jealous. Not really, but I'm excited. But we're going to be spending a pool day, or like we're going to have a pool day while she's here on the strip. So I'll wait till after that to get the laser done. But anyways, the whole point of that was, when we were 18, we didn't think about the long-term repercussions of our actions. So when the dermatologist asked if I had a history of like sunbeds, I was like, when I was like 18 for probably like 2 years, and I felt so embarrassed and ashamed about it because like the Lisa now is like, you absolutely should have never done that. And like, I won't step out of my front door without sunscreen on. I don't let my face see the sun. Like, it's just interesting how our perspectives change as we get older and we know better. I mean, I knew better at the time too, but when you're 18, you feel invincible and like you can do whatever. So the reason why we're using handles like this is so we have more range of motion because with this one, you get stuck right here, right? There's no further you can go. Whereas if you use a rope or handles, you've got more range of motion. And I feel in a pull. So another part of the whole just feeling good about the gym, making it your own, enjoyable experience is, the girls that wear like a full beat or full face of makeup. And personally, I don't give a fuck what you do as long as you feel good and you're here. Which can bring us into that whole gym modesty conversation that's going on TikTok and shit. My opinion, wear whatever you want. If someone else is wearing affects you in no way, shape, or form. I think the people that have issues with this are, might sound real mean here, but I'm just going to be super blunt. People that I think that have issues with it. One are women that are not confident in themselves and they couldn't imagine wearing something like that. So they find it very inappropriate. And I hope that changes for them. I hope they get to a place where they feel confident and they're like, you know what, that girl looks like a badass. And I support that. Second time person that has a problem with it are men. And I personally feel the men that have an issue with it are the ones that lack a lot of self-control and they want someone else to blame other than themselves. It brings me back to the whole elementary school, middle school conversation of like, girls aren't allowed to wear spaghetti straps because it's distracting to boys. Well, then maybe we should teach boys some self-control, self-discipline, and to not blame women for that. Right? The other thing you have to realize too is once you start going to the gym and you start getting in shape and you start changing your body and all that stuff, is your body no longer becomes like, not everything is like sexualized about your body. Like I said, you get to a point where you're no longer like, when you post like a booty selfie, it's not like a thirst trap, in my opinion, anymore, because it's more of a look at my progress and like you want to celebrate that. It's exciting, things like that. It doesn't have to be this like overly sexualized thing. And I think when people aren't a part of fitness, they don't understand that because to them it doesn't make sense because that's how they view a body and a physique. So like when you go to a non-commercial gym like I do, where there's tons of like IFBB pros and competitors and fitness models and things, like that's all normal. It's very normal. Like that's their job. It's also like, you know, when you work that hard, you want to show it off. So it's one of those things where I think the people that are making comments about it are probably the ones that shouldn't be making comments about it because they don't really understand. But what else? I told you I would show you how to do inverted rows, so we'll do some inverted rows. But anyway, so when you're doing an inverted row, you're going to, the lower this is, the harder it's going to be. So you kind of decide. You can do upper, or you can do, or over or under. Under is going to be more bicep focused. So do whatever you need. But you're going to walk yourself out. You're going to focus on chest to bar. Shoulders are down and back. Core is engaged. We're just going to finish with a couple minutes on the bike to kind of cool down. You never want to just walk out of the gym. So we're going to cool down. This is a reminder, just like do what feels good for you. Do what you enjoy. That's it. Don't worry about everybody else. Thanks for watching another video. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next week.